and welcome to Star Lighthouse. I'm Prashant, and this is weekly reading for Sun, Moon, Venus rising in Gemini. This is a general read, so I suggest you take whatever resonates with you and leave everything else behind. And if the reading does connect with you, there's an extended to it. The link for that extension is below in the description box. I hope you like the reading, and if you do, please do like, subscribe and share. That would be very helpful. Thank you. So Gemini, how are you doing? Thanksgiving week. How are you feeling? Hope you're able to connect with your family, friends. I know still COVID, it's still hard to connect with people now, but hope you can find some time to connect with people. Also, you can find something to be grateful about. This has been a very hard year. So maybe if within yourself, if you something positive, good that you can find in yourself and you can be grateful about, that would really help. It just create a positive vibe, positive inspiration to move forward. Let's take a deep breath. Release all the thoughts. Now focus on the question, the feeling that brought you to this feeling. Take another deep breath. Let everything else go. Maybe this reading has answered your question. Let's see what's going on with you. Knight of Wands. Acting towards your truth, or moving towards your truth, or acting for your ambitions, being blocked by Chariot energy. So when this happens, when Chariot blocks something, it's basically your mind and heart are not fully connected yet, or there is still some mystery, some fear in your mind that's blocking you from moving forward. Past situations, 10 of Coins. Mind's ambition, fortitude, strength, heart's desire, Queen of Swords, being able to find future situations, Hierophant. So you would be able to find that communication. I think it's basically moving forward with your own truth, or moving forward for your own ambitions. So this seems to be a financial stability. That doesn't seem to be a concern right now. Let's see what's the fear that's blocking your Chariot, your progress forward. Suggested advice for action, Judgment, acting in your own light, context for this advice or action, Lovers. So that's where it seems is going towards. Hopes and fears, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, and potential outcome, Nine of Swords. So possibly you stuck in your nightmares and fears. So all this action seems to be moving towards the Lover's energy. And previously there was thoughts about financial stability, which you seem to be you have reached that. This Lover's energy might be seemingly different from, seems like in previous relationships, because there is this Hierophant card. Hierophant card pointing towards you are your own leader. You listen to your own mind and heart because you feel that you're connected to your spirit, and that's why you're taking actions, because they're more connected to your heart, soul and spirit. Everything is in union. that's when you reach this Hierophant stage. Queen of Swords also pointing towards that you're able to take in all the information that comes towards you and act compassionately. That enables easier conversations and basically makes it more creative for you to maneuver in those conversations. It's not like a negative way to say that thing, to maneuver a conversation. Rather, not let that conversation go into negative territories or like into spaces where you might not be able to handle those emotions yet. So that seemed to be like really positive in terms of this Lovers card, where if you're starting a new relationship or you're taking a relationship to a strong communion, in that situation, any communication that happens between you two, that Queen of Swords and Hierophant energy will provide you that ability to converse in that situation, to maneuver that communication so that it doesn't go into spaces where you right now might not be emotionally stable to handle those questions or discuss those topics. So doing the right communication, doing the right conversations while making that relationship turn into this Lover's energy. Both Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands point towards you acting with your own truth, your own beliefs. So there might be like a separation from your previous family beliefs or peer beliefs, or maybe like your perception of how the person looked like or what their profession would have been. All that is changing. That perception shift has been happening because of your, basically I think it's the financial stability also allowed you to find your own truth and your own belief. It's like until you reach that stage, you used to follow other people's ideas, like, or you used to get swayed by them. But reaching that stability and maybe the slowness of this year allow you to take a step back and look at yourself and like how you deal with situations and with relationships. Reaching to a Hierophant stage, connecting to your mind, heart, and soul, that points towards you finding your own truth, you're finding your purpose, and that's allowing you to take right actions. Knight of Swords. So now what's blocking this movement, this change, this transformation of that relationship or communication in that relationship is your own fears and nightmares. And that's potential outcome right now. With Chariot being blocked, that seems to be a current situation. See, in this Chariot card, there are two cats, a dark one and a light one. Basically, one representing your strength, the other one representing mystery. Mystery created by feelings, or it could also be like you don't know if this Queen of Swords card came out. It could be pointing towards conversations that were previously you probably were putting off, important conversations that are required for that relationship to probably become like a true commitment or something closer to that. Like it takes the next step. Conversations in terms of some beliefs or family beliefs or financial stability or going forward, how that relationship looks like. That communication by itself, or the fear about it, or if you might not see your intended outcome, that seemingly is blocking, all that fear is seemingly blocking you moving forward. A fear of having that communication, because seemingly you have been putting that off. If you are in this Nine of Swords mindset, you have been putting off that communication. Or you have been postponing it, if not putting it off. I guess I know they're one and the same thing, but the feeling behind, like the essential feeling behind both of them is slightly different. Postponing would be like still a hope that you would do it someday. Putting off is like you now are in mental nightmare and you just don't know how to get out of it. So how do we make this Chariot move forward? I One of the questions would be to first make sure that you don't have any doubt about this relationship. And if there is some doubt, you first would have to go inside rather than having that communication and identify the cause or the root cause of, like, the reason behind that doubt or what's incepting it. What is actually making you think you should not move forward with that relationship? So some reason, that nightmares, that fear, that's creating this doubt about this relationship, that needs to be identified before you can have that communication. And with the Hierophant card, the suggestion is that the answer to that question, answer to those doubts, no one else can give you that answer. Not even this other person can give you that answer. For example, if you ask the other person, and if the relationship is important to them, they might accept or adhere to some habit they might not be happy about in future, or they might say something yes to an expectation, or like how the relationship looks forward in the future, something about it, say yes to it today for that relationship to work, but they might not be able to do it in the future. So the answer to if that relationship or any doubts about that relationship, they all reside within. You cannot ask that question from someone else, or no one else will be able to give you the right answer. Especially if this person looks very different from your previous perceptions of how your lover energy would have looked like, the previous perception, or your previous like people you have dated or being in relationship with. Especially in that scenario, asking your peer or someone else might not give you the right judgment. So that's where the Judgment card, suggested advice, points towards that it resides within you. No one else can provide you that answer. So to how to see that answer within, it's a very tricky situation, because you should not be comparing any relationship with a previous one, because it's like the feelings by itself and how you would have grown in those relationships are different. But it could also be like, is it easy to think about that person? These are the current expectations that you have, making you overthink about the relationship, or it's just that the fear about how you would share that relationship with other people, that's blocking you from moving forward. So it's like you have to understand, is it your own expectation, or is it other people, how the society would perceive you, that's blocked. So there's a difference in those two things. So once you start finding what is an outward perception and what you internally believe, the internal belief would make you understand if any of these doubts are your doubts or they're just social doubts. Once you can find your own doubts, then you can navigate those conversations to get your right answers. You have all the strength, all the wisdom you need. With the Fortitude card and Queen of Swords, you have all the strength, wisdom, and charisma you need to have this conversation. It's just you have to find inner clarity, the right questions that you want to discuss. And those questions should not be based on social perceptions, rather your own thoughts and beliefs. Trying to see if I see any other suggestion over here. In fact, if you're having, so Nine of Swords is like shows how you're having nightmares in the night. If you're actually having nightmares in the night, that is also probably a subconscious way of telling you like something that you should focus on right now. And if it's something about this relationship, then it would tell you that this is the doubt that you're worried about. Then you can focus on that doubt and try to see what's the reason behind it. Is it a social reason or is it a personal reason? And then you can prioritize that communication based on that. So if you're having nightmares, if you're having fearful dreams, actually that's your subconscious trying to give you hints about the topics that you should be focusing on. So rather than taking them or being stuck in them or dwelling over them or being fearful about taking this situation to the next stage or having that conversation, focus on the doubts you are having. Focus on them and trying to understand where is the root cause. Is it within you or is someone else telling you? Instead of focusing on someone else's doubt, just focus on your doubt and then navigate the conversations you have with the other person from that aspect, from the doubts that you need to clarify. Queen of Swords, you'll be able to creatively navigate those conversations. So Gemini, seems like you're moving forward in that relationship. The thing that's blocking the Chariot energy is fears and doubts created by a society, but peer pressures or internal doubts based on lack of understanding. Those can be easily discussed and communicated with, but instead of focusing on a widespread number of issues, you should focus and look internal and find the answers within, questions within, as to what concerns you. Concerns specifically you, not everyone else. How that relationship looks like to you, and what kind of questions or expectations you want to set. All those answers would come from within, not from anyone else. And then discuss creatively. Use your Queen of Swords energy to creatively discuss and maneuver those conversations in your, not in just your favor, but more so that you get answers to your doubts. And then you can decide if you want to carry forward that, like move forward with that relationship in the next stage or not. You seemingly will act from your truth standpoint, you would not bend, it doesn't look like. So be smart and compassionate about your discussions. And if you are having any sort of nightmares and fears, then focus on the thoughts behind it. Try to understand what your subconscious is trying to tell you. There might be hidden messages inside it. So just focus on that. You'll be able to move forward. The only thing is blocking is not finding complete clarity. And you will be able to find it once you start looking past those nightmares and start understanding the root cause of it. Gemini, hope you're able to find clarity between your thoughts and take your communication to the right direction. I hope this reading connected with you, and if it did, there's an extended to it. In the extended, I would look more at how you're feeling in this moment, how you can further balance your thoughts. Also messages from the oracle and timing related to the next conversation or for this relationship, or the steps you will start taking towards it. All of that I will look in the extended. If you would like to join me there, the link for that is below in the description box. I hope you liked the reading, and if you did, please do like, subscribe and share. Thank you for joining me in the read, and have an amazing week. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.